Whether you're looking to hang just one piece of art in your home, or if you're a home stager like us and you're hanging multiple pieces per day, I really hope you find this useful. And for those who prefer to learn by reading, Eva has actually written an article on how to hang artwork, and it includes the process and all the equipment you will need as well. So head over to the website. I'll also include a link to that article on Facebook and YouTube in the comments or in the description section below. All right, let's now head to an install in Augustine Heights to hang some artwork.
So we are at our second install today, and we thought we'd run through how to hang artwork. It's something we get asked often. After we've installed, we're packed up, new owners have moved in. We've had a couple that have then emailed us to then say, how do we put up some more art? So otherwise, the other flip side is other stylists who are then paying to bring in an art hanger. And then passing that cost on to a client. So I want to show you how easy it is actually to hang that artwork. So let's get started. So we have our toolbox with our tools. Cody will run through that later. The mount that we use depends on the size and the weight of the artwork. So if you come along here, we've got a number of different types. So you've got oversized canvas that is strung. So this only needs one center point, but it's heavy, so I wouldn't be using a little hook that's got the little nails on it. Those ones really should only be used up for 2.5 kilo artwork. Anything above that needs a gyprock plug with a screw. So we'd use one of those for this one. The same would go with these framed pieces of artwork. Again, it only needs one anchor because we've got the string. Sometimes, not today, but sometimes they're not strung. So pieces that are sort of 5 kilos and heavier, particularly framed pieces, tend not to be strung because when you hang it from one point, the pressure point on the frame can pull apart the corners of the artwork. Those ones need to be hung by D-ring mounts only. So they're the ones where you need to have it level, you have 2 points. Obviously we're going to hang it with 2 screws because otherwise you're going to be able to see the hook to start with. So what we use is determined by the artwork itself. And then we've just got all of our tools in our toolbox. So I'm going to show you a couple of where we're hanging with hooks, a couple where we're hanging with gyprock plugs. This particular house, it's a new build, so it's all gyprock. We don't find the beams. If we happen to find a beam, that's fantastic, and we'll do a hook or a screw straight into the beam. We default for centered and where it's going to look best for our room positioning. So if it needs a gyprock plug, that's fantastic. If we've got a beam, that's even better. So for us, there's no preference to get a beam. So there's nothing like a stud detector or anything fancy like that we use. And then for leveling and everything, we do it every day. So for us, leveling by eye is a far more efficient and effective way to hang our artwork. Most of our artwork is strung so that if we are slightly out, potentially the artwork itself, the strings are a different length, the wires are a different length, we can tighten it so that they are matched perfectly. The other thing is that this particular house, because it's a new build, we don't have timber walls, we don't have concrete walls, we don't have brick. So for those different surfaces, we've also got different tools that we would use to mount our artwork. So for concrete walls and for brick, we use a masonry nail. They are designed to be self-propellant into those surfaces. So literally it's a nail and you just hammer it in. Thick concrete though, you can use a hammer drill to help you guide that initial entrance into the wall. Otherwise, what the concrete that you're displacing will kind of crackle around the entry point. So it doesn't look as smooth without a hammer drill. It can still go in, it's just not as smooth without the hammer drill. So the masonry nails are for those surfaces. For timber, we can still use a hook or the screw. They just then can hold a heavier weighted piece of artwork than if it's into gyprock itself. So it's just a sturdier finish. So something that I didn't mention before is that we often work in pairs, more efficient for us to do it that way. So I can move the artwork, I can hang the artwork while Cassie eyes it in. So what she's doing at the moment is making sure it's centered according to the lights in the room. So for us, we go for, I would say, fixed fixtures in a property to make sure that everything is centered. It doesn't always work out as nicely as that, but this one's going well. So when you're putting the screw in, you want to hear the pop, and the pop means that it's gone through the Gyprock nicely. Screw goes in, we just go for a flathead 32mm screw. So this is the hook one, so we just did Gyprock screw and Gyprock plug. This one is just a single hook. So this, whilst it's an oversized piece of artwork, it's a floating framed canvas and it's really light. So we're just going for one single hook. What we do, Cody, is we've been doing it for so long that as far as height goes, we know the position for us where we need to hold to put the fixture into the wall, so it's going to be at a really good height once it's up. So for me, that's basically at my forehead height. This one I've gone slightly higher because they've got a really high centerpiece, so I still want it to be visible. But a standard piece above a bed or something like that, I'm going to be basically doing it at my eyeline level. If you're taller than me, you have to go for it a bit shorter, and you gauge it over time when you figure it out. If you don't know where to put it, that's when I'd be using a tape measure. The rule that we follow is it needs to be at least 15 to 20 centimeters above the furniture, if there's furniture in front of it. So you'll see like the sofa in there, the position of the artwork, it flows straight down. So when we've got the cushions and the throw rug, everything like that, it's all going to flow as one piece. It's not segregated. If you're having that segregation, that's when it feels disjointed and it doesn't complement it. Instead, it's a separate thing and your eye doesn't know where to settle.
So there you have it, how we and hopefully how you can select artwork for your home or for somebody else's home, and then how to hang it. I tried to cover as much as possible in this episode, but I understand there are unique circumstances. If this episode didn't cover your circumstance, please let us know in the comments below or send us a message and we'll do our best to get back to you.